My name is McKenna Tooker, and along with Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and Engineering Acoustics, we are grateful for the opportunity to present on pilot-in-the-loop technology for spacecraft landings and extravehicular activity at the 2022 International Humans in Space Summit. Recently, NASA significantly increased their priority for finding an emergency manual override system to accompany the lunar and Mars landings. They realized from the Apollo 11 mission that taking over the automated landing system took far too many seconds to regain situational awareness. It isn't well known that for the Apollo 11 lunar landing, the astronauts were standing as they tried to navigate the spacecraft to the surface. The device that they trained on is quite different from the actual lander that they used, making the transition between landing systems even harder. The lander had odd-shaped windows as well. As the astronauts were landing, moon dust was kicked up and obscured their vision. We know from other experiences that it takes precious seconds for a pilot to take over control from an automated system, especially during high workload situations. These diagrams reconstruct the inside of the lunar landers used during the Apollo series. You can see the joysticks which they had used to fly the lander. There was not any room for chairs, as chairs would have prevented easy access to the hatch to the descent ladder. During the Apollo 11 mission, Buzz Aldrin was on the left and Armstrong was the pilot on the right. If you listen to the videos from that mission, Aldrin was frequently informing Armstrong that he was overcorrecting to the right as the moon dust blew to the left. Armstrong was trying to go straight ahead and was disoriented by the vection. In Armstrong's own words, you can hear he felt a bit erratic right after the emergency landing, then calmly reported to NASA that the Eagle had landed, as if nothing near catastrophic almost happened. In an earlier study of formation flight with the F-104 starfighter like those shown in the upper right photo, we know that the intensity of formation flight increases the amount of time a pilot pulling away from formation needs to acquire full situational awareness to about 20 seconds. In an emergency manual override of a lunar lander, 20 seconds may not be enough time to catch up. NASA is looking for a device that would keep the pilot in the loop during the entirety of the landing without requiring any input, and a system that would allow the pilot to take over immediately as needed. Unusual events that are unexpected require some time to get oriented again, which is time that pilots may not have. We know the difficulty that Armstrong and others had in overcorrecting was the result of self-perceived motion caused by dust called vection. In a degraded visual environment, in this case, lunar dust flowing in the opposite direction, gives us the impression that they were not holding a steady, straight-ahead course. During extravehicular activities, astronauts have complained of fog in their visor from their breath, or from frost or sunlight preventing them from seeing clearly where they are and where they need to be. What's needed is a device that will guide them where they want to go and keep reminding them if they're heading in the wrong direction. The Aerospace Physiology Lab at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, along with Engineering Acoustics, is helping develop a cueing system that would provide a solution for both of these problems, landing the spacecraft while keeping the pilot in the loop and transversing outside the spacecraft and maintaining the desired location. Currently, such a device is being tested for the Army helicopter pilots in our lab, and we believe it would be a substantial benefit in helping the astronauts maintain situational awareness during lunar landings and EVA activities. The device in the bottom diagram is called the Tactile Situational Awareness System, or the TSAS, and it allows small vibrotactile cueing units called tactors to vibrate if one is off course. The tactor that vibrates will be the one in the direction to get back on course. The tactors are arranged precisely all over the garment and would be connected to the instruments needed to guide the astronaut back in the right direction. The tactors vibrate on the skin and also use haptics. The tactors provide important directional information to the astronaut. The information sent to the tactors comes directly from the electronic devices that contain the information for the wearer to get back on course. This could be on spacecraft or aircraft or manned maneuvering units during EVA or excursions. Our research has found that the device information is intuitive and it continually alerts the pilot that they're off course until they correct it. The in-flight test we used to demonstrate the effectiveness of the TSAS equipment began with installing inertial guidance system equipment and connecting to the ADSB instrument in the aircraft. We had the blindfolded pilot in the right seat use hand maneuvers to demonstrate where they felt the horizon was during complicated maneuvers flown by the pilot on the left. The flight engineer in the back seat controlled all equipment and recorded all information. You can see how the hand information could be translated to horizon information given the right seat pilot in this slide. Using the hand over the leap motion sensor, the pilot continuously indicates where the horizon is through maneuvers. The wiring system for the device in the airplane is shown that synchronizes with the instruments. The right seat pilot would indicate by moving their hand where they thought the horizon was, and the data was collected in real time, synchronized with the navigation instruments. We used a variety of pitch and roll maneuvers to demonstrate orientation during various aviation illusions. Our in-flight test maneuvers fell into the categories of bank, pitch, and acceleration. In the graphs, the x-axis represents time and the y-axis is the movement on the horizon. The right seat indications of the horizon are shown in red and the actual horizon is indicated in blue. The top graphs show the subject's perceived orientation during the maneuvers without additional cueing, and the subject is way off course. In the bottom graphs, the vibrotactile cueing system guides the subject to make accurate guesses where the horizon is, seen by the greater correspondence between the red and blue lines. A close correspondence between the subjective hand motion in red and the actual position of the airplane in blue shows orientation in flight. As discussed earlier, the vibrotactile cueing system could make it useful for the astronaut during landings where the dust might be kicked up, during an EVA where limited visibility might make it challenging to get back to the ship, or during excursions where the dust or loss of visual fix on the spacecraft could make it difficult to get back to the ship. The upcoming Artemis mission and the new space age will require far more lunar landings than have ever been done before. The haptic cueing system will provide critical orientation information, including velocity and other information that might be useful to the astronaut during critical mission operations. In conclusion, we want to thank you for attending our presentation on pilot-in-the-loop technology for spacecraft landings and extravehicular activities. Comments are welcome and emails can be sent to the address on this slide. Thank you.